Hey, Garnetta.
You, Bobby.
How are you?
Good. You doing well?
Doing great.
All
Have
right.
you have you been to the new building you used to work in? The one did they tear it down and put it on the other side?
Oh, it's been they haven't taken it down yet, but it's going to go away. Uh,
Okay.
and they emptied it out just after I retired.
Okay. Okay.
But
I
it's
had rolled past it the other day and I was
did
thinking of you.
the other day I looked up when I passed by and the light was on in my office. Even though it's a closed, building, so I don't know what that was about. But
But,
they were probably checking some things out. But they're
but
gonna
you
tear it down. That's where the new bed tower is gonna be.
so they're
So
gonna tear it down and build a whole new building.
yeah, that'll hold mostly all the beds. It'll be several, 20 some
Okay.
floors probably.
Wow.
But and they'll then move everything from North Campus there, and then they'll recycle North Campus to some other thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
That whole area
It's
is gonna be brand new pretty soon.
yeah, it's perpetual building over there. You always see those cranes. I haven't looked lately. I don't think anything's really going on right now, but
Uh-uh. You saw that funny shaped building down the street?
oh, that's an interesting building, isn't it?
I
On Kings
know.
Highway near the Chase. That is really
Yeah. But I think it must be what, apartment buildings or townhouses?
it will be living space, but I don't know which one it's going to be. I don't know how it's going to be, but it looks interesting.
Oh.
I, when you think of the campus at Barnes Jewish,
Uh-huh.
it's like a little town. It's bigger in population on a daily basis than the town I was born in.
Wow. Where were
Because
you? Was
you've
you
got
born
the
here in
medical.
Missouri?
Huh? No,
Was you?
Arkansas, in a little delta city on the river.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
4855
small town.
6241.
But on any given day, it's over 10,000 people wandering around that campus
392.
between the pharmacy, between Barnes Jewish, Children's, WashU, and the construction workers.
Right. Right. It's pretty busy over there.
Mhm.
Okay, we are live. Just so you guys know, we're waiting on a few people, but we are live.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Christina. Hi, Susan.
Hello there. How are you?
Fine.
Oh, hi, Bobby. I was on mute. I'm sorry.
Okay. I thought you was daydreaming. You was like this. I thought you was daydreaming.
I'm trying to find some stuff for Yvette and trying to send it to her while we're on the phone.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Justin.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Angie, Justin.
Hey, Donetta.
Hi, Justin.
Hey, Justin.
Hi, Susan. Hi, Christina. Hi, Bobby.
Hi, Justin.
Hi, Mark. Matt.
Hey, Matt.
Hello, how are you?
Hey, Lewis.
Hello, sir.
Hey, how's everybody? How you doing,
All
Donetta?
right.
Great.
We ready to roll?
Yeah.
Go outside. You want to go outside?
Let's see. What did I? Am I on? Yeah. Okay. How many do we have, Sue?
Well, I mean, we haven't taken the official roll yet, but we're live, so we could get going if you'd like.
Okay. All right there. We have enough for a quorum.
Yes, we do.
Okay. Okay. I'd like to call the meeting of the Public School Retirement System of the City of St. Louis to order. The date is October the 19th, 2020. Roll call.
Angela Banks.
Here.
Christina Bennett.
Present.
Joe Clark. Darnetta Klingscale.
Present.
Louis Cross,
Present.
Sheila Goodwin, Donna Jones, Yvette Levy,
Here.
Bobby Richardson,
Here.
Albert Sanders, and Justin Sine.
Here.
All right, so you have, we have 7.
Okay,
I'm sorry, we have 8.
8, great.
We have a quorum.
That's
Okay, seeing that we have a quorum, we'll move on to the approval of the minutes of the last meeting, which would be tab 1.
I would like to make a motion to approve the retirements and benefits for September and October 2020.
Is there a second?
a second.
Oh, I'm
Seconded
sorry.
by-
I said benefits. You were asking for minutes.
Yeah, minutes.
I'm sorry. I make I withdraw that motion. I make a motion that we approve the Board of Trustee regular meeting minutes from August 17th, 2020.
Is there a second?
A second.
Is that Darnetta?
Richardson.
Oh, that's Bobby Richardson. Second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Oh, the ayes have it. Okay. Then the special board trustee meeting, August the 27th. Can I get a motion on that?
I move that, this is Darnetta, and I move that we accept the minutes of the special board meeting on August 27th, 2020.
Is there a second?
Richardson, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. The ayes have it. Let's go on to the special board trustee meeting on August the 27th, 2020. Is
I
there a
just
motion?
did that one.
Yeah, I was gonna say we just.
Oh, I'm sorry. Then is it the last, I'm sorry, special board meeting on September 29th, 2020? Is there a motion to accept the
Make a
minutes?
motion that we accept the minutes of the special board of trustees meeting September 29th, 2000.
Okay, Justin, and is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Bobby Richardson, it's been properly
Yes.
moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the ayes have it. Okay, reading of communications to the Board of Trustees. Sue?
Yeah, I don't have anything.
Okay. Presentation by interested parties.
Yeah, there was no email sent to us from the box, so.
Okay, approval of retirement and benefits September and October of 2020. Can I get
I
a
make a
motion?
I make a motion to approve retirements and benefits for September and October 2020.
Is there a second?
Second, Darnetta.
Darn- Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. It's been properly moved and seconded. Ayes have it. Okay, so then we'll move on to approval of refunds and bills for August and September of 2020. Is there a motion?
I'd like to make a motion for the approval and refunds of the bills of August and September 2020.
Is there a second?
I second that.
Okay, Darnetta has properly seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So the ayes have it. Okay, we'll move on to item number 6, unfinished business. Do we have any unfinished business, Sue?
I think she put that, my report under there. Is that correct,
That's
Susan?
exactly right.
Yeah,
All
Okay.
right. So
All
right.
Darnetta, you
Let
have the
me-
floor.
I'll just be right there. Okay. I'm sorry, I had to get the document. I asked Susan to submit something to all of you today. And basically, it's just another copy of the document that we approved back in February as a training document, sort of a menu of items. wanted you to have it so you could look at it and see if you want to add something to it. And actually, our next presentation, I'm not sure what the date is of the next investment committee meeting. November 19th, is it? Something like that?
Yeah, November 19th, yes.
Okay, good. So we'll have a training that particular evening right after the investment meeting. And our attorney, Matthew's going to present to us the rules and regulations. And then we have a full list of other things, but we will have an ongoing session on education, you know, as we go forward, just so that each month we'll have something presented. The next month may be an update from him on legislative issues for our board. And I did not have that discussion with him yet. So, but I'm trying to think of things that would be important for the work that we do. Any
So Donette, a quick question. So legal training, we're gonna do on November 19th, we're gonna do D, rules and regulations?
Yes. And so we'll make sure that everybody has a current copy soon so that you can look over it and have your questions and what have you ready for after his presentation. Would you like to say something about that, Matt?
Well, I was just had a question. Was there anything in particular that you wanted me to cover about the rules and regulations, or did you just want me to do a sort of a broad overview, kind of going down step by step through the rules, sort of some of the main items that you all may encounter?
Yes. Yes.
So Darnetta, can I make a recommendation that maybe we, while this is in training, that right after the investment meeting, we have a rules and regs meeting so that we can have that training fall under Justin's committee. So we can have a meeting for this year and discuss the review of rules and regs and then any proposed changes. Would that work,
Good
Matt?
idea. How about you, Justin?
Well, that sounds good. We would have a meeting at the same time, or?
Right after the investment meeting.
You're on site, you're on mute.
We would close the investment meeting once it's done. And then we would open a rules and regs meeting to meet a meeting requirement and discuss any changes or modifications to any rules and regs while he's going through the training.
All right.
Okay, so Matthew may want to comment. This would be a special meeting. The training would be a special meeting between the trustees and the lawyers, legal folks. And how would we do it then? We would be having 3 meetings in one evening.
Well, there's a couple ways it could be done. And I believe Trustee Bennett maybe has a reason to maybe combine it with the Rules and Regs Committee, which I think that's another possibility. It could be done as well. I was just thinking if you were doing it in conjunction with the investment committee meeting, it doesn't necessarily relate to investment per se, but the way you would just do it is you hold your investment committee meeting, that ends, then immediately basically continuing on, you make it a special, or it could be another committee meeting like the Rules and Regulations Committee, where I could present on the rules and regulations themselves. And then I believe Trustee Bennett may have some proposed changes that she may have as a proposal for that could either be combined with or immediately following or preceding my presentation, however the board wants to do it.
Okay, so we still have time. I will talk with Trustee Bennett and Trustee Justin, and then we'll confer with you. I don't know if we need to do anything special as far as sunshine law or anything to have that discussion outside of this meeting.
I think so long as it's, I think, 4 or less, just talking about procedures, it should be fine.
How we would structure those 3 meetings.
Right. And to be honest, I don't know if it really makes that much of a difference if you do it in a special versus a committee.
Okay.
Because they're both by the whole anyway. I would just make sure we can work with Sue on that any notice has a accurate description in terms of what's going to occur.
Okay.
And if we need to close any portion of it to have any conversations with
We
me,
can do that.
we can do that. So,
Okay,
Okay.
so as far as I'm concerned, it sounds like we'll be having an investment meeting and a rules and regs meeting, and then we'll handle the training the best way advised.
Right.
Okay, everybody?
Okay.
And
That's
if everybody
Okay.
is 4:30, still a good time for people? I just want to make sure that's the normal time.
I
For
guess
the investment meeting starts at 4:30.
4:30. Investments at 4:30. Chris, how long do you think that would be?
Well,
She
that's
stepped away.
Justin.
Stepped away. Yeah.
That's Justin.
Or, I mean, the investment meeting.
Oh, okay.
She stepped away.
She did.
There she
Okay.
is.
Yeah.
There
All
she
right.
is.
All
She's
right,
on mute.
Chris.
Sorry, I have the AT&T guy trying to fix my Wi-Fi here. So what was the question?
I said, we're gonna have your meeting, then we're gonna have Justin with rules and regs, then we're gonna have Matt. So how long do you anticipate that investment meeting to be approximately?
Well, we don't have a specific agenda except a flash report for right now with Kristen. So it should be pretty quick if we don't go into any details. So I would say the investment meeting is going to be no more than 45 minutes, and I can tell Kristen that. Flash report, unless she's going to represent September quarterly numbers, which I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Sue.
I was just going to say it's possible we might have that. We were going to talk about, manager searches too, but so we might have some preliminary info on that as well.
Okay, so I guess we could anticipate having meetings all the way until at least 6 o'clock or so, 6:30.
Yeah, probably 2 hours.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. Well, Bobby, is that okay with you since you're still working?
Yes, that's fine with me.
I wasn't trying to rub it in,
I
Bobby.
can hang.
All right, and Sheila is not on right now, so, but that sounds good to me. I'm just glad that we're getting movement on it. Is there anybody else who wants to address that issue?
Just like to say thank you to Trustee Clinkscale for getting that all set up, and the agenda looks great. So thank you so much for all your work along those lines.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Darnetta. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
I asked you to handle that, and it's handled perfectly. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so is there any other unfinished business?
I'm not aware of any.
I do have some unfinished business, but we would need to go into closed session to discuss it. I
Okay,
believe.
all right.
Here, let me get the motion up to do that.
Right. Okay.
Give me a minute here. Let's see. Hang on, it's coming.
Sue, if you don't have it, Matt might have it.
Yeah, I have it here. I'm just trying to get it up on the
Pull it up.
screen.
I was
Okay.
just wondering, what is the reason for closing? Because the only reason I see in the meeting notice is to have a discussion with, to have discuss a legal matter with the attorney.
Personnel issue.
Oh, okay.
Personnel issue.
Is that appropriate in this
Well,
vein, Matt? Is it okay?
Well, the only reason I'm asking is the sunshine law requires you to put all the reasons for why you might close the meeting on the notice, or at least have 24 hours notice. If you can't do so, then at least have sometimes there are emergency circumstances or something like that. So maybe that could be.
Okay, Trustee Levy, is that an emergency circumstance?
So it's a follow-up to some training that we discussed and who might lead that training. So no, it's not an emergency, but I did follow up with an email to request information. And at the time, there was no information to be shared. And so I don't know where we are with that, or if we are anywhere with that.
Okay. So is that can we still go into executive session, Matt?
And if we don't, since I know we did not post it, I'm okay with waiting, but again, it's outstanding and I don't know where we are.
I
Well,
can always, I'm sorry, go ahead, Darnetta.
I was just going to suggest that you call the attorney and talk to him real quick.
Yeah, it looks like we might have lost Matt.
Yeah, sounds like we did.
I see him.
He's just like this.
Right. He might.
Okay.
Chairman, you should have also been, I did copy you in on that email.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, looks like we've lost Matt. So we'll see if he comes back in.
And
Okay.
then if you want to discuss it later, that's fine.
Chairman Levy, this is what I'm going to suggest. Do you have Matt's phone number?
I do.
Call him now and ask him and see what the status of how he wants to proceed.
I don't think it's
Okay.
Because I definitely want to address your issue, but I want to make sure we're within the guidelines.
I don't think it's C either. That is B or D. Oh.
Yeah, okay, so Matt is trying to get back in. And we did have some funky things with YouTube last time. They've changed some settings. So we might not get to go back live if we go off right now.
Is Matt back on?
Yeah, looks like he just got in. He's connecting.
Okay, well, let's see. Why don't we, I can just go on with the report of the executive director, Sue.
Okay, and did you have a report, Mr. Chair?
Yeah, I did have a report, and basically what I wanted to report on is what we already covered in the special board meeting on September the 29th. And at that time, from the email that Mr. Clark sent, Andrew Clark sent concerning additional training, we addressed that, and we're going to develop Matt legally is going to develop a plan for that and procedure. And so that's where we are with that. I think that is the most pressing issue. Also, I wanted to report, because I've gotten quite a few calls, that the benefits package has not gone out yet. I chatted with Executive Director Susan Kane, and it hasn't gone out because there's a procedure that we have to follow. And that means that until the teachers get their package of benefits, then we get ours. Ours is based on what the teachers get. And I'm pretty sure you all are familiar with that. If not, that is the procedure. So we can't send a packet out for the retiree benefits package to make changes until the teacher packet is approved. Then Sue has to then get it printed. And then after that, it goes out. So if you get any calls or concerns, that is the reason why. So we're on track. Once that packet goes out, they have until November the 26th to make changes. Other than that, I will discuss some other issues under new business. I am going to appoint myself to the chair of the budget committee so that we can get started with Sue on the budget for the upcoming year. That ends my report.
Okay. Okay.
Investment.
Did you, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
331329. Can you do it?
Can you write it down?
Mm-hmm. Hold on, you all. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I had to step away and give the internet situation to our technician.
Do we have to accept this report and second it and all that good stuff?
What report are we on?
This was the chairperson's report.
Damn, I missed it.
No, I don't believe there's any approval required.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it in our books, Sue?
No, there were,
That's not yours. That's Lewis's, sorry.
yeah, Mr. Cross.
Just got a text from Sheila, Trustee Sheila, and she's trying to get in.
Okay.
Oh.
And Mr. Chair, I did have a few things to say. Do you want me to go ahead with my report?
Yes, you can, Sue. I'm sorry. I've got
That's okay.
bad things going. Somebody,
Yeah.
I guess they were trying to call me too. Okay, yes.
Yeah, that's all right. I can relate. All right. Well, I did have a few things that I wanted to touch on. This is my first regular meeting. So again, I just wanted to say how very excited I am to be here and to thank all of you for the trust that you've placed in me, and just know I'm going to work hard to keep everything moving in a positive direction. So I look forward to working and getting to know all of you. I did want to start by saying that a few other items that was included in the packet under tab 4, just to let everybody know that invoice was sent to the Board of Education, just to let them know, their funds are due to us by the end of the year. We'll work with the charter schools and get their official notices out later this month as well. The other issue is the trustee election. I just wanted to give you guys an update on that. So there are 2 candidates who have registered for that election. The ballots are being printed right now, and they are scheduled to go out no later than Monday, October 26th. The timeline for those, the ballots will need to be returned to the election commissioner postmarked by Tuesday, November 10th. And this is for active trustee election. And then they will take, at the Board of Election Commissioners, they will have their tally take place on Tuesday, November 17th. So again, just wanted to alert everybody on what was going on with the election, the active trustee election. So that's all in progress.
So,
Is that an active teacher?
Sue, did you? I'm sorry.
No, I was just wondering, is that an active teacher?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Is Sue? Did you have the names of the 2 people on the ballot?
I have not seen the ballots as of yet. I have
Okay.
just gotten word that they are printing them, that there are 2 people. And so I don't have the ballots yet.
Okay.
And when did you say the deadline was?
November 10th, the ballots have to be postmarked. They will do the count on November 17th. So that will allow a week, I guess, for mailing, but postmarked no later than Tuesday, November 10th. Okay. Anything else on the election? And then as Chairman Cross already talked about, the open enrollment, again, all of that is ready to go. We're just waiting on a few little confirmations. So hopefully those packets will be going out. I'm hoping by the end of the week. And then we are also working to provide some education for retirees. As you guys know, we're not going to be having the regular open enrollment meetings, due to COVID this year, but we are working with those vendors to get them to record their presentation. So at least that'll be posted out on our website and put some other materials out there as well. So again, all of that's going to be in progress here pretty soon. And then the other item I wanted to mention is there have been some changes internally with our phone system and how things are set up. And we're hearing good things so far. Right now, the way it's set up, when people call in, they're going to go directly to the receptionist, Monica, and then she will either assist or route the calls. Previously, it would go to a fairly long phone directory message, and there were several options, and obviously that's not a popular thing for anyone, especially retirees, to have to listen to. I mean, they want assistance right away. So that went in place last week, and so far we're hearing some pretty good things. So we've got Monica on the front line, and then there's a couple of backups. If she's not at her desk or if she's on the phone, it will go to those individuals. So our goal is to try to get everybody connected to a live person as soon as possible. Just wanted to let you know, that's in place. And so hopefully if you guys call in, you'll get a live person. But sometimes everybody calls at once too. So, so we'll try to continue on with that.
Sue, I just want to say I was pleasantly surprised when I called because I didn't know if you were thinking the same as Andrews. And I was ready to push my buttons, and someone said, good afternoon. And I was like, what? So it took me by surprise, and I was pleasantly surprised. So I really like that system.
Yeah, that was in place. Randy, our technology, and Andrew and Angie, customer service, they had all been working on that. So it sounds like a very positive change for everybody.
One of the things, excuse me, Sue, one of the things that I was concerned about, and we'll address that in the budget, is our current phone system was changed from the one we had before to a internet system. And so we can't record or know what how our employees are talking to the people. Are they getting the services that they need? Is it polite and respectful? All those kind of things. So, we might have to take a look at something so that, most of the phone systems now have a feature so that you can record the call and make sure that they're getting the proper service and everything is going correctly. So we're going to take a look at some of those kind of things. And also with the internet system, you're going to have problems if you get inundated with a lot of calls. So we're going to take a look at something that can handle more calls so that we can service our people better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. That's the goal. And we do have some limitations with the current phone system. So yes, I think that'll be a good conversation to have. And my only other item that I was going to mention is that it was going to be budget time. And, you know, something that we needed to think about scheduling. The board would need to schedule a meeting. In the past, it's been the trustee business committee that has met to review the budget. So,
Sue, we didn't know who I appointed to the budget committee.
yeah, I
Well,
don't,
the business committee,
yeah,
that is, and it's the trustee business. I didn't know what was all under it, but that's me.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's
All right.
Darnetta, yeah. Typically,
Okay,
there
then.
hasn't been, from what I could see, there's not been a separate budget committee. It's fallen under that trustee business committee that
All
would
right,
handle
then.
the budget.
Okay, well then I withdraw my previous statement. So we're fine, and we'll get started on that, Darnetta,
Okay.
as soon as possible, so we can
All
make
right.
the necessary concerns and changes.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll just need to schedule a meeting. It's typically been done in early December. So
Right.
Okay.
we'll just need to talk about that.
Okay.
All right, and that's all the comments that I had. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay. All right. A report of the investment consultant. There's no report.
That's correct. Yeah, she's not here.
Report of the actuary.
Yeah.
I did want to say this. The actuary said that he was going to. We voted at a meeting when he was present, virtually, and he was going to look into the number of instances where we have been paying retirees that have either passed on or for some reason are still receiving compensation when they should not be. Now, Andrew had reported that there was one situation, but then he said it might be 3 or 4. But we want to get an accurate total of those so that we can address it and have a accurate count and how much money is outstanding because of it, so that we can take the appropriate action. I guess, Sue, if you could get a hold of the actuary and ask him, has he finished his report and investigation into that matter? He said he had some kind of software that could get that done. So if you could check into that and just let me know so that we can get to the bottom of exactly how many cases we have outstanding.
Okay, will do. And we do have an internal report that we track as well. And we're collecting on some and have collected on a number of them, but I will certainly touch base with him and see what report he has as well.
My concern is that the program that we use with that company, it seems to have some leaks in it, because we have had some situations and they're not too pretty. And so we want to make sure we have every last case, regardless of what it takes to get that done. And I think we might even want to have a person assigned to that specifically, because that's quite a bit of money that we're losing, and it's hard to recoup that money.
Okay.
Cross, just by way of background, I believe that there was, and Sue can check with the actuary on this, I believe the actuary did reach a resolution as to that and informed Andrew as to what happened. So I think that did occur. Now, what exactly occurred, I can't recall specifically. It was either they didn't see a reason to perform it, or they did perform it and didn't find anything. Sue can certainly get the straight answer from the actuary, but I believe there was a resolution of some sort between the actuary and Andrew on that.
Can you refresh my memory on the topic we're talking about?
What'd you say, Chris?
I just jumped back in, and I just wanted to know where we are and what the topic was.
Oh, we had talked about retirees who had maybe passed on or for some reason been overpaid, and we wanted to get an accurate count of exactly what that is, and so we know how much money is outstanding. And Matt said that the actuary had actually provided a report to Andrew, and at this particular point in time, we need to be made aware of that report and so Sue's going to look into that and then let us know.
Well, I don't know if he actually created a report or not. I know that he at least concluded what he needed to do and informed Andrew of that. What actually helped on, I'm not sure. I don't know if he actually created a full report to that, but I know this came up during the June regular meeting. And some overpayments. The actuary was going to perform some additional searches to that. And so I think that he had completed whatever work he needed to do in that regard.
And I think, Matt, it was really good a refresher to be able to reach out to the actuary and list the notes or recommendations in writing that he recommended to Matt, to Andrew, and any follow-up so that we have those documented for
exactly.
Just in case that Andrew may or may not have looked at this. So it's just best to be able to have, Sue and the actuary make sure that she's able to document what any recommendations were provided in the last 12 months.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've talked with the actuary on a couple of occasions, well, several occasions actually, and this topic has not come up. So I will certainly circle back with him and find out, what that result was.
Okay. Okay. Is there, so we're moving on. Report of committees of the board, benefits, Donna Jones. I don't think Donna's with us, and so I'll stand in for Donna, and basically already covered it. The packets are for the benefits package will go out when the board approves the packet of the benefits package for the active employees. So that should be coming pretty soon. And once the board approves it, then we get our benefits package, and then Mrs. Kane has to get that printed and get it out. And of course, it's due back November the 26th. So we're hoping that that'll happen real soon, and we'll apprise you in an email as soon as those packets are ready and when they go out. Trustee business, Darnetta?
Nothing additional. It was covered under unfinished business.
Okay. Investments, Christina Bennett?
Yes, so we had a meeting on August 18th as well as September 17th, and we had a meeting last week, but on September 17th, we had a educational seminar by Julian Bolstick from Vista Partners to talk about private equity, as well as we were going to review information about LMCG investments that decided to close their global quantitative fund. And so the only question, Matt, is that at our last at our investment meeting, the investment committee recommended that we terminate and liquidate LMCG investments. So do we bring that today, or was it fine in the investment meeting?
Yes, I think I'm sorry, go ahead, Matt.
I was gonna say, I don't have the minutes of the investment committee in front of me, but if the investment committee last week voted as a committee, voted to liquidate, the action of the committee would be affirmed by the full board during today's meeting.
Yes. So that would be in the form of a motion?
Yes. So
is there some, you want to make the motion, Christina?
Yeah, so Matt, so I'm going to put this because I don't have it in front of me like I usually do, but the investment committee met on, let me see, what day was that, Sue?
It was October 15th.
October 15th, and the investment committee recommended to liquidate and terminate LSCG investments, and to put those funds into cash for the use of benefit payments. Can I get a second on the motion?
Levy second.
Okay.
Okay, the motion has been made and properly moved in second. All in favor? We have to do a roll call on this, Matt?
Yes.
Okay. Angela Banks,
Yes.
Christina Bennett,
Yes.
Darnetta Klingscale,
Yes.
Lewis Cross,
Yes.
and here, Yvette Levy,
Yes.
Bobby Richardson,
Yes.
Albert Sanders,
Yes.
and Justin Stein.
Yes.
Okay, so that's 9.
Okay. It's been, okay, that amount of the transaction was how much, Trustee Bennett?
The liquidation value at last week's was approximately 9 million and change.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else, Trustee Bennett?
That concludes my report. Thank you, Lewis.
Okay, thank you, Chris. Legislative rules and regulations, Justin Stein, you have anything, Justin?
No, I'm gonna have to do a little homework for this November 19th meeting. I'll try to look over those recommendations that Christina, sent in the email and think about those a little bit. But otherwise, I don't have any changes to or any comments right now.
Okay. All right. Personnel and professional contracts, Trustee Levy?
I think you cleared up my question earlier, so no report.
Okay, great. And just want to thank you again for your support and guidance through the hiring of a new executive director. And it's obvious that you've done an awesome job. And I just want to thank you again, Trustee Levy, for everything that you have and did and to make this possible. And I'm pretty sure all the executive board members also thank you so much.
Absolutely, very welcome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great job. Thank you.
Yes. New business. All right. New business, anyone? New business? Last time, new business, anybody?
Did we want to bring up the discussion of some proposed rule changes? Do we want to start with that?
Yes, you can too.
Okay. So they would need to be read at this meeting, and then as we discussed, then discussed at the other special meeting or training meeting. But let me get those up for you guys.
Right. And those came from Trustee Bennett, right?
That is correct.
Yes. Chris, did you want to go over those?
Yes, I can. Let me make my screen a little bit bigger here.
Okay.
So I
You
can
guys see that okay? I can.
Let me move my little laptop a little bit closer. So a couple of things that we wanted to discuss. Hold on.
Start over, Chris, because it kind of faded out a little bit.
Sorry,
I think all of us probably need to put it on mute. I hear a lot of feedback.
Yeah, let's everybody do that.
Okay.
I do too. There's a lot of feedback when Christina speaks. I don't know what.
Okay, is that better? Is that better, Justin?
Yes.
So, one of the things that I have done over the years is look at potential rules and reg changes that are minor tweaks to our rules. One of the things that Lewis tried to implement this calendar year was the institution of co-chairs. And then secondly, one of the things that we wanted to make sure is that we aligned the roles of the chair a little more with our calendar year program. So I'm going to go through on these and then I can explain some of the rationale. So the first one is the section there for, if you can see, the election of officers and committees. So duties of such a preparation of minutes of the meetings of the Board of Trustee and its committees and records and maintenance, which are typically performed by the organization's secretary, shall be the responsibility of the executive director or a designated staff person. The reason we want to do that is that if in the event we want to institute cross-training as well as our ability to move forward in case an executive director cannot do, maybe ill or can't come to work for a week or two, and we don't want to delay our board responsibilities in the event of the executive director not being able to be in the office to prepare such a report. So I said, or a designated staff person in there. However, the executive director or a designated staff person shall not be a member of the Board of Trustees. Sorry, I had to reprimand the dog. So that was just a simple addition. The next section was the treasurer shall be elected at the regular October meeting, which is today. And each odd, I'm sorry, it is not numbered years for a 2-year term. And the highlighted portion is the treasurer can be any trustee other than elected officer, which would be other than a chair or vice chairperson. The reason is that historically, at one point in the last 15 years, we had a board chairperson who was the investment chair, who was the treasurer, and by default ended up having multiple roles. And that just doesn't look good in a governing body where you have 11 members and one person can hold 2 to 3 positions and really control a board from functioning its normal operational duties. So that was just an addition to allow us to, 1, cross-train, 2, to make sure that we can run our business and not be dependent on one specific person. The next section is the amendment rule to amend Rule 6, Section 1. That basically says that no later than February 1 of each year. So we elect a board chairperson in December meeting, but the historical word said April 1. Now, this section has been not effectively utilized in the past, and so therefore we would have come April when a chairperson would have 4 months to decide who was going to be a committee chair effective January 1. Sorry, effective January 1st of every year. And then at the April meeting, that decision was delayed until sometimes June. And therefore you lost a whole year of truly operational capacity for an entire board based on the board chair's decision to not want to select committee chairs. So this basically says that as of the February 1, because we have a board meeting in February, we typically don't have one in January. So this aligns with our actual meetings. And then it says that if the February 1st deadline is not adhered to by the chairperson of the board, then the vice chairperson shall establish such committees to allow the continuation of ordinary or business. And that, again, this is just making it so that we are not dependent on one single person to operate our business. And then we would amend the next section.
I have a question.
Sure.
Is this where we should discuss this?
Oh, I'm going to go through it and then we can discuss it.
Oh,
Yeah, typically,
You have to have a full reading.
yeah,
Yeah.
typically we have to, just present it at this meeting, and then that's why we'll have a follow-up meeting to do the full discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just to give the trustees some idea, the rules in the amendment section talk about how there's a presentation at one meeting and there isn't a discussion or a vote on any of the changes until a following meeting, which I believe will occur in the committee meeting on November 19th.
Yes.
Right.
So
Okay.
Darnett, this is just a plain reading, and then the discussion phase will come at the next meeting. So then the next section would be to amend Rule 6, Section 2. Each committee shall be a committee of a whole. To make up of the board members, the chairperson of the Board of Trustees shall appoint a chairperson and/or co-chair for each committee except him or herself, subject to approval by the Board of Trustees. Again, each committee shall meet from time to time at the call of the chairperson of the committee. Decisions made by the committee shall be put on the agenda for the next regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Trustees unless an earlier or special meeting of the board is called for the purpose of considering a committee's decision. The next one is to amend Rule Section 8. Section 2 says the duties of the executive director shall include but shall not be limited to the following, and this is to prepare the annual report of the retirement system to be distributed to the members of the St. Louis Board of Education, members of the Board of Trustees, and members of the retirement system. Such report shall include membership, total annual pension payments for the year, composite of membership, summary of charts of benefits and calculations, funding summary, summary of its assets and its asset allocation, snapshot of investment performance, see sample of document attached. And then the next one would be to amend Section 11, Section 1, that says all meetings and records of the public school retirement system of the city of St. Louis shall be open to the public, except when otherwise authorized under provisions of Section 610.010 to Section 610.030 of the Missouri statutes from 1978, and is amended. In addition to all retiree data and system data shall be made public via a sunshine law request and is required to be produced upon request under the provisions of such statute. So those are these are the recommendations that we will discuss at the next meeting in November. Mind you, this is a product of COVID. So if you want to go to sleep, you can read all those rules and regs.
Okay.
So I have
right.
a question.
Go ahead, Darnell.
So do we have a treasurer?
Well,
Who is the treasurer?
Yes, we do.
Who is it?
It's Lewis.
Yeah, right now it's me. I haven't appointed anybody to that position yet.
Oh.
So I have to do that.
Well, the treasurer position is actually voted on, isn't it, Matt?
Right. No, yeah, Mr. Cross, you don't need to appoint yourself to it or anybody else. That was something that was done during the board meeting a year ago in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I was the person appointed voted or whatever. So there'll be a person at that time. That's what Andrew told me. So that's why I was just waiting.
Okay, good.
Okay. Are you done with that, Chris?
I am done with reading all the legalese.
Okay. Under new business, I had another issue that I wanted to discuss. And Matt, I need to run this by you. The office has been closed. The retirement office has been closed since March because of the COVID-19 issue. I visited the office on several occasions, and to my astonishment, no one in the office had on a mask. And so basically, it was to practice social distancing. And some of the people, because of that, Andrew had them working from home, and that with the district opening up now and the teachers back at work, and I've talked to some retirees, and they are a little reluctant to do the virtual and so forth and so on. They would like to come into the office and have accessibility to the office. And so I talked with Sue about that today, and I wanted to bounce that off of the executive board, because I think at this particular point, I'd like to see all of the people in the office back in the office with masks on, and we would get the plexiglass panels so that there's a barrier between the folks and that come in for service, and open up our business so that our members can have accessibility. Of course, we have people that want to retire all the time, and they have issues with benefits and so forth and so on. And I'd like to open the office back up So that being said, Matt, what would be some of the specifics that we'd have to do in order to make that a safe place and not have any legal ramifications because we open up the office?
I guess a couple questions I just have sort of by way of background. With the office being closed, I believe probably for the last 7 months now, is there anything that the retirement system office has not been able to do with basically being closed that we need to do in order to open it back up? So is there anything that it hasn't been able to be done in the last 7-month time frame?
Well, a physical presence is the main thing that I hear from a lot of the older retirees. They're not able to navigate through the virtual piece and computers and so forth and so on. And in a lot of instances, they just like to come into the office and sit down or whatever and have a discussion that way. A lot of times with the phone system currently, the way it is, it was hard to even get through and let alone discuss a matter. And in some instances, that was an issue. Also, I think I wanted to be in parallel with the district. Well, the district has opened up and all of the schools have opened up, and that's been for a while now. And so I thought that unless there was something that I didn't know about with the office being open, we needed to discuss.
The decision about whether to open up the office or not, and it's not necessarily a legal issue. I think before it was Andrew's position that fell under the executive director's power. Now, certainly the board, if it wanted to overrule that, could vote to overrule that. Now, in terms of the legal requirements for opening it back up to the public, I haven't looked into that for a couple months. I believe the last time I did, there were some, as you mentioned, some requirements, plexiglass, things of that sort. I can look into that again just to see, because everything is changing basically every week, to see what the exact requirements are. And certainly I can discuss that with Sue to inform her what the requirements are. But that would be the only real legal issue, other than perhaps just a general fiduciary issue of, even though it's closed, is the board and the retirement system being able to maintain the essential functions to get the retired members their pension payments, to allow current members, active members to become retired members, to have all of their questions asked and to have any issues that they may have resolved. So that is really the other concern, is to make sure that even if it's closed, is it able to do everything to the fullest of its ability? And so I can't really answer that question. I would just maybe see if that's something that we have been able to do while it's closed.
I got you. Okay. Well, that being said, I guess you're suggesting that we look into it, delve into it a little more. Of course, if in fact we were to open, then we would need the plexiglass and all of those things. So I guess we just need Sue to kind of take a look at that and then get back with me and the board and let us know what we need to do. But I just feel like 7 months is long enough time, and possibly we need to just open it back up. That's just my personal feeling.
I think, and I know it's up to Sue and the people who work in the office, and I understand some of our retirees want to come in, but at the same time, for safety reasons, if it's somebody in the office that has health issues, that the reason why they don't open, I think it's important that we take a look at our employees of the union. I mean, of the SPSRP, to make sure
Right.
that it's okay. And then even with that, and this is just to add on to your suggestion, a possibility would to be, because the board, like our first day of school was today. And then we still have people who are working virtually because they can't come back into the building. And our older retirees, we don't want to risk them. Even I know they want one-on-one, but if we have 3 retirees that actually come to, come knock on the door, then we're putting those 3 at risk. So I think it's important, if we do decide that the office opens up, then it's opened up on a limited basis, and by appointment only, and so many appointments an hour. And then those people the people at home, we don't know why they're home. If it's because they're sick, I think they should be able to stay at home because even though we opened up, because you mentioned St. Louis Public Schools, we opened up. That doesn't mean everybody went in willingly. Everybody's not doing it willingly, you know, and everybody's not going in either because we still have people teaching virtual from home. So I just think it's important to take a look at everything. And like Matt said, if we're getting our job done via, if everything's done, everybody getting their retirement benefits, nothing is behind. I think you should just take it those retirees who want to actually meet person to person because they don't want to Zoom. Is it possible that Sue can set up a meeting with those individuals, but not really open up the office until it's we're really ready?
And
Trustee Sanders, I was just gonna say,
Hold
I
on,
think,
hold on. Let's go one at a time. Who's next?
who else was talking? I'm sorry.
I think
Christina was
Chris was
talking too,
talking
but
at the same
go
Oh,
time
ahead,
okay.
you were.
Yvette.
Go ahead, Christine.
all I wanted to say was if we're going to have any in-person meetings, that they should be staggered and they should be held in the conference room so that no other staff is needlessly exposed to anything. The conference room gives the people the ability to have space and distance. And that, you know, like when I go to my hairdresser, I can't even bring like my person or anything, but no guests, no, you know, additional people other than the retiree if they want to come in person, because that puts more people at risk. And make sure that, you know, between every meeting, if you do have them in the conference room, that it is wiped down, you know, and that we have proper PPE. If someone doesn't bring it, that they cannot meet without entering the building without it. Just so that we are taking the same precautions, because we never want one of our retirees to say they got sick coming in to talk about their benefits. So
Yeah,
take all.
Hold on, you all. Are you finished, Chris?
I'm done, thank you.
Okay, Trustee Levy is next.
I just wanted to kind of follow up with what Trustee Sanders said, as well as Trustee Bennett. We do not allow parents in the building at all. So if we are talking about opening, it may have to be by appointment only. And then again, as Trustee Bennett said, you have to have that PPE or you can't come into the building. So really looking at what that would look like to bring our members in.
Was there someone else?
Darnetta.
Okay, Darnetta.
Yeah, we could go around and round and come up with different things. I think that what Matt had said and what have you is that we need to look at what the regulations are, then what our needs are. And Susan really should be working with maybe you, Louis, I don't know, but she and her staff need to come up with some recommendations that fit in with what the rules are. And then some of these things that we've said could be considered as well, and probably would be best practice. But I think we need to have Sue look at best practice. And Nat, make sure that
is that hold on, is that who's next?
Darnetta's still speaking.
Okay.
I'm done.
Darnetta, were you done, Darnetta?
I am, thank you.
I thought she was. Who's next?
Well, I was just gonna say that I looked, and the KC side, their retirement office is still closed to the public, as well as the PERS, the state system, is still closed to the public. So just for general information.
Okay.
But yeah, we certainly can, look at it. And I think if there is a case where somebody absolutely has to meet with us, I think that might, be kind of happening on just a, ad hoc
limited basis.
But yeah, we can certainly
Right.
Look at all these things.
I guess, was there anyone else? Well, I guess my concern is that part of the procedures that will be established, one of them is the same one that the Board of Education uses. They have a monitor as you come in. It takes your temperature. And if you don't have the precise temperature that's required to get in, then irrespective of what the issue is, you can't come in. And then I like the piece on the appointments. I just wanted to, I think we are a sister to the St. Louis public school system, and the people come into 801 every day, and they have accessibility to it if they have to get their kids in school or whatever the case may be. And so I just thought that throw this out and see if we can research it, find out what's going on with it, and at least make it available if some of the retirees or some of the active members need face-to-face. And of course, we would, once Sue and Matt, myself, and whoever else on the board wants to be involved with that, that's fine. But of course, we do have to be careful. And of course, we'll have, all of the different things, the recommendations, the plexiglass and gloves but I do suggest this, that all of the employees of the trustee board, of the retirement board, come to work and have masks on instead of working from home. I think that would be beneficial to Sue and the rest of the staff to have everybody there on a daily basis.
And I think somebody said like that's a Sue, I'm sorry, Yvette, that's a Sue call. Like you said, we can't really say anything. That's a Sue call, because if she feels comfortable, she may feel comfortable with them not being there, so she can actually come in every day and actually work. So I think that's a Sue call. Even though we want to see our employees, but that's a Sue call. If she's fine with them working from home and they're getting all their stuff done, she don't have to worry about it. But I think, like Darnetta said, as well as Yvette, I'm sorry, Trustee Clinkscale and Trustee Levy, as they have mentioned, and I think I mentioned, her make the call and see how she feels, what she feels comfortable with. Because if you put too many people in there, she may not feel comfortable coming in every day. But we want her there every day. She don't have a choice. No, just playing. But we want.
Well, Trustee Sanders, you weren't at the beginning of it, and what I said was that I had visited the office on several occasions, and a lot of the staff members didn't have masks on at all, and there were no precautionary measures there, like plexiglass and so forth. And so that was one of the rationales for having some people work at home, social distancing. Well, I think that we can have, and that's of course a judgment call on Sue's part, but I think we can have all the employees on site if we practice the social distancing and wear masks. And right now, none of the staff were wearing masks at all. There was no plexiglass, no nothing. So that was one of the reasons. But like I said, I guess at this point, we'll turn it over to Sue and Matt, and then we can see what they come up with. And of course, we can take a look at appointments on specific cases, or we can leave it closed until such time as it's safe for everyone and they give us the all clear. So right now, it's just a look and see and investigation right now, I guess.
Chairman Cross, I think my concern is I would want to have this, enough PPE for staff to wear if they're in the office to wear masks. Two, if we need precautionary and any type of plastic cubbies or anything instituted for those that are there, to be able to have those, because I think COVID is going to be with us for a while, and I don't think that we're all going to work from home for the next 2 to 3 years. So I just think that if we put these precautionaries in place now, we're only going to benefit it whether they come in, on a staggered basis, or they come in, Sue will have to rotate if, as she sees fits employees. But I want to make sure that if anybody does come into work, that they have the right equipment that they need to protect themselves and others in the office.
Right. And that was my concern.
And I will get up to Sue to distribute.
Okay. Is there anything else on this particular matter? Anything else? Okay. All right. Has everybody had a chance to voice their opinion on that area? Okay, then we'll go to, let's see. I think, okay. Then we go to the report of the attorney.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. And sir, I just got cut off for a few minutes there. So if anybody had any questions for me, that's why I didn't answer in the last 3 minutes. But everything hopefully should be resolved now. Just real quick update on the lawsuit. Now, I think I'm just going to give a quick update. And if that's really the only issues, then we don't need to go into closed session for that. But if there's any further questions or discussion about it, then I would recommend that we take that into closed session, because everything I'm just going to say is already public record in the court filing and everything. But in the lawsuit against Senate Bill 62 that we filed at the end of 2017, as I mentioned during the August regular meeting, the Court of Appeals ruled against us on August 11th, 2020. We were pursuing our appeal to the Missouri Supreme Court, and we filed our appeal with the Missouri Supreme Court on October 2nd, 2020. And so right now we're waiting for the Missouri Supreme Court to decide whether to take up our appeal or not. And the Missouri Supreme Court decides, they have the discretion as to whether to take the appeal or not. And if they don't take the appeal, then the case is over. Or if they take the appeal, it doesn't necessarily mean we win either. It just means that we're allowed basically in the room to then make our argument to the Supreme Court at a later date. And so this is the first step to the Missouri Supreme Court, is to say, hey, you should take this appeal for these reasons. And the Supreme Court gets to decide yay or nay as to that. And that will probably come down in the next few weeks, maybe a month, probably around, I would hope before the end of November, we would get a decision one way or the other on that. Now, just by way of background, most of the time requests for appeal to the Supreme Court doesn't take them. It's usually a small number of the cases they actually do accept and hear the appeal. But I would hope, given the importance of the issues in the case, and that a lot of this is really the first time a number of these issues have ever come up, that they would take the appeal to at least rule and to decide the case on the actual merits of the case. So we are hopeful that the Missouri Supreme Court will take the appeal and then at least hear our argument, which we will be making hopefully at some point later on. But that's basically all we have at this time.
Okay. Any concerns that we might need to go into executive session? All right. Well, thank you for your report, Matt, and we'll just hope and pray that the Supreme Court will take a look at our case and will win the case on appeal to the Supreme Court. Matt, if they take the case and they say no, then our next step is the U.S. Supreme Court. Is that right?
No, this is the base of the final stop.
Final stop.
The Supreme Court. The U.S. Supreme Court hears basically federal law or United States constitutional issues.
Okay.
For a state retirement system, state statutes and the state constitution are at play. So that's why we're under the Missouri Supreme Court.
Okay. All right then. So we'll just hope and pray that what you all have done an excellent job with the legal support all these years, and I know that it's going to happen again. Okay. That being said, thank you for your report, Matt. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Can I make a motion to adjourn?
Second by Levy.
Okay, it's been, the motion has been made and properly seconded by Trustee Levy. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, the ayes have it. The meeting is adjourned, and thank you all so much for your time.
Chair Levy, can you please call me?
Will do.
Thank you.
Okay, good night, everybody.
Have a good evening.
Bye-bye.
Good evening.
All right, good evening.
Thanks.